Records called Beyond the Machines in CD format. Congrats. Coming up next, we speak to Richard James and also Grant from Reflex Records. This is Kiss.
Friday Spank is doing it. London's true underground garage, classic disco and boogie session. Spank is the home of real sound. Spank is at Maximus, 14 Leicester Square, W1. Spank has the roughest DJs causing a storm. Double J, Marky P, Bobby and Steve, Paul Trouble, and special guest, the underground's finest, Dean Savon. Spank is only £5 before 11 and more after. Slamming. Another safe night out brought to you by Kiss 100 and Holston Export, because he's what it's all about.
The Kiss FM Guide to Dance Music, Part 9.
If you're into music like this...
It was music. Great to dance to, great to romance to, with a lot to say to you. Relaying a message, revealing the essence of a jazz fan.
You should listen to Wilberforce on Sundays from 11 a.m. till 1, and Jez Nelson every Thursday night from 1 a.m. till 4.
100 FM.
The official Kiss 100 Easter House Party is coming, and we're building a lineup just for you. Join Liquid and the Reese Project for this Easter special on Thursday, April the 8th at the Camden Palace. Tickets are only £7 in advance from the Virgin Megastore, Zoom in Camden High Street, and the Camden Palace box office on 071 387 0428. Book now and stay locked on Kiss as we add more PAs and the best DJs for the night. Another safe night out with Kiss 100 and Holston Export, because he's what it's all about.
Kiss, 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 kiss. FM.
Joining me on tonight's Abstract Dance, we have Richard James, aka the Aphex Twin, and also Grant from Reflex Records. Welcome along. How you doing?
Not bad, thanks. Hi.
Good. How did Reflex Records begin? How was it formed?
Well, basically, it was the end of 1991, and we were at college in Cornwall, and Richard was one of my friends down there, and he didn't have a contract at that time, and we thought his stuff should go out, and all our friends wanted it on vinyl, so that's where it came from, really.
So it's really formed firstly for Richard's material? Yeah,
and because in Cornwall you can't get any decent records at all, and we just wanted to put the records out that we couldn't get.
We sort of, there's a lot of, you know, sort of small circle of people sort of producing a lot of really good techno as well, that we just wanted to put out ourselves and keep it all sort of in-house.
What were your early musical influences around this time, when you formed Reflex Records?
Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was only sort of the end of 91, so it was still all the acid stuff, really, that inspired me to start it up, because acid was a bit quiet then, and, you know, we didn't want it to die out.
What are your feelings on the whole sort of Euro techno movement at the moment?
Well, it's so varied, you know. It seems to be enough good stuff coming out, although there's never enough, you know. But in Britain, there's a lot more room, I think. There aren't really that many labels putting out quality stuff in proportion to the amount of sort of run-of-the-mill stuff that's coming out. So I don't know, really.
What are your feelings on that, Richard? What do you feel about the whole Euro techno thing? Because to me, the Euro techno thing and the Detroit techno thing seem like worlds apart now.
Yeah, I don't know. I still spend about £100 a fortnight on records, so, you know, it keeps me busy in the shops. I'm not complaining. You know, it just goes up and down, really. It's just, at the moment, it's on a bit of a down roll. I think there's not been much for the last few weeks, but there's always something that sort of pops along and keeps you interested and motivated.
Right, we're going to listen to one of the tracks on Reflex Records now, and it has no name and no title. There we had one of the releases on Reflex Records. Firstly, what I want to ask you is why no name and no title?
because it doesn't matter really, as long as...
We haven't got around to putting one on there yet.
I mean, so if I wanted to, I heard a track and I wanted to go and buy it, I'd have to, you know, how would I know what it was?
The name of the EP, really. Each EP has a name, so...
And we just wanted, like, there's too much information on records anyway, and like DJs like yourself never have, you know, they always get mixed up because there's artist name, EP name, track name, and they always come out in the wrong order or sort of mispronounced. So we just wanted like artist name and EP name, and then sort of at a later date from now we're sort of planning to like release all the track names of all the records. So just as a sort of a, you know, to make it a bit more interesting, you know, so because people never take any notice of track names anyway, half the people. So.
Something I want to aim at you, Richard. What does the word techno mean to you?
Just sort of new advancements with electronic music.
Good answer. Were people such as Warren Atkins, Kraftwerk, New Order, and you know people of that time an influence on the music, both of yourself and from Reflex Records?
Not really, not for me, because I mean in Cornwall it's pretty bad to sort of buy records, and there wasn't really a lot available sort of in the early days. So I mean it's just stuff you could get hold of easily, really, in sort of major shops, and it wasn't until sort of, I don't know, till about sort of 1990 till you could get sort of you know good stuff nearby, I suppose. So you know I wasn't really influenced by that much stuff because I didn't really hear any of it.
So what are we liable to find on your turntable at home?
Sort of mixture of just all the sort of current tunes, and I like loads of at the moment when I can't sort of find anything current that I like, I sort of listen to a lot of old sort of 70s electronic music, sort of avant-garde stuff, which I really like.
Mostly at the moment just the current house stuff, techno. I'm a bit of a hip-hop boy as well, but you know, you need a mix, I think.
Right, we're going to take a listen to another one of your anonymous tracks now. If you just joining me, Colin Dale, in the studio tonight, we have the Aphex Twin, Richard James, and Grant from Reflex Records. Grant, I want to aim a question at you now. What are your views on people saying that they're playing live and actually playing from a DAT tape?
Well, if you're going to do a live set, supposedly, and you're going to play it off DAT, why not just say it's a DAT set? If it's a very, very long set, for instance, then it can be hard, you know, to play the whole thing. Say if you're doing an hour and a half, to have all the sequences loaded up, the continuity gets broken. But if you're only doing, say, a short, small club, 20-minute set, what's the point in doing it on DAT? It's just as easy to do it, you know, live, really.
Richard, what are your views on the situation of people saying they're playing live and actually playing from a DAT tape?
It doesn't bother me either way, but like for myself, you know, like promoters don't really care whether it's live or DAT, and if you were to do everything off DAT, I don't think many people are going to sort of say, you know, they don't sort of give you credit for doing it live anyway, so I don't see them sort of dissing you for doing it off DAT. But for me, it's just like, it's all for my own sort of use, really. I mean, it's all like, it's just a massive challenge, you know, to sort of cart everything from country to country and making sure you've got all the bits and pieces. You know, it's just, you just get, you know, the harder it is to do it, the bigger buzz you get from when it all comes off in the end.
I don't know if you've noticed this comparison yourself, but a lot of people now are making a comparison of punk and the techno thing which is happening now, and I wondered if you could actually see this comparison yourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's all going like mainstream now, and there's going to be sort of all the corny rip-offs. I mean, it's already started. So, I mean, it's the same with all sort of new sort of current trends, you know, it all goes the same way.
You know, Reflex Records have now really established themselves on the underground dance scene. Now, if a major label was to come along with, you know, the right price, would you sell out to them? Because, I mean, it's bound to happen at some stage now.
I've never considered it. Basically, we're just going to carry on putting out good quality music for people out there who want it, and worry about the money side of it later. You know, I don't know. As long as we've got good tunes to put out, we'll put them out. When we haven't anymore, then we won't put them out. But as far as getting lots of money to put the records out, I don't know. Maybe that means we'd put out more records, but
just control, really. I mean, if we've got like 100% control, we'd do it. But if it's 99%, we wouldn't do it. So if they want to give us money to help us, it's up to them. But if they want any control, then they can't have it.
Right, we're going to take another listen to a Reflex track from your current roster.
Buzzbins, 157 Charing Cross Road, every Friday. Outrage. The lineup changes every week. This Friday, DJ Rhythm, DVSD, On The Pulse, With A Rush, Ranking, Diffraction and Dom Scott. You heard the rage? Well, this is outrageous. With a whole garage upstairs. £8 before 12 and £10 after. There ain't nothing like it. Outrage at Buzzbins every Friday.
Well, it's about this time of day that I like to offer a bit of a boost to you, the public out there. So first on the line today we have a Mr. Stephen Barnard from Braintree out there in Britain. So Stephen, what's your problem?
Hello, Vic.
Hello, love.
First off, Vic, could I have a picture of your lower jaw?
Without doubt.
Thank you. Now, I've landed the contract to nibble the perforations on the edge of the postage stamps.
Well, you're a lucky lad.
I'm a lucky lad, bingo. And I know it's a big break and everything.
It is a big break.
But I'm still a little concerned as me incisors are slightly crooked and might not be up to the job.
Well, it's a common problem.
It is a common problem. There could be a sudden increased demand for the stamp, you see. Now, is there anything you can do?
Well, now then, Stephen, there's absolutely nothing I can do for you, but a Cadbury's Boost, it's slightly rippled with a flat underside, could help your tongue when licking the sticky bits on the back of a large brown envelope.
Oh, you've misunderstood. It's the stamps that I'll be licking your
I'm
throat.
not interested.
Join Daniel Rampling every Saturday night from 7 p.m. till 9 for the best global dance grooves house style. Plus, he'll be bringing you the Kahlua Kiss, his personal selection of 3 of the week's biggest beats. Get ready to party. Daniel Rampling, pumping it up. Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 9, featuring the Kahlua Kiss.
What are your feelings towards the current hardcore junglism, rave, you know, whatever you want to call it? What are your feelings towards
I'm in
that?
love with it.
You are?
No, it's not even worth commenting on, really. So, you know, I mean, there was a point when it started that used to sort of annoy people intensely because, I mean, you'd be going to sort of your record shop that you'd been going for like 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden they're playing like hardcore, and you know you had to listen to like 4 hardcore tunes before you could listen to what you wanted to. But I think it's got to a stage now where they've sort of like clearly sort of branched off, and you know there's clubs for clubs and shops and everything else that goes with the sort of different types of music. So it doesn't bother me anymore because I don't have to sort of put up with it. And you know I can go to shops and be guaranteed I'm not going to hear it, and same with clubs. So it's, you know, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Except, well, I don't know about the moment because I literally haven't listened to it. You know, I haven't heard any, so I don't know what's happened to it at the moment in house music. I mean, I don't consider it as house music.
Who do you currently admire on the scene at the moment?
Sort of people, a lot of German people, PCP mainly in Germany. People just, let's think, some D-Jack stuff. you know, there's a lot of stuff out there which well, I think we both like really rate. So,
how does Reflex Records sell abroad? Are you well accepted abroad?
Yeah, fantastically.
Would you find more so than here in the UK?
Yeah, 2/3 of our records easily go to, well, Germany is the big one, and obviously Belgium, Holland, although Britain is catching on, and it's getting bigger all the time, and hopefully we'll be selling all our records in Britain, because that's the people we want to reach. The people in Scotland, you know, who you know, really got their hearts in it, but can't get the records.
Now, Richard, you've worked abroad a lot. Where would you say that, you know, things are really happening now? I know a lot of people are pointing at Germany. Would you say it was happening there yourself?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of like sort of confrontation in Germany. I mean, they've got a lot of trouble between sort of Berlin and Frankfurt. There's sort of like big wars sort of brewing up, and they're sort of really childish as far as I'm concerned. You know, like Berlin people, sort of a lot of Berlin people really hate the stuff coming out of Frankfurt, or probably love it and afraid to admit it because it's not from Berlin. There's all that kind of stuff. It's just, it's like totally pathetic, really.
Yeah, mind you, that happened with Chicago and Detroit and New York and...
I mean, it was. I mean, like, I thought sort of Britain, sort of British sort of music lovers were the worst for it, but I mean, Germans are like by far the sort of the worst, you know.
We're going to take a listen to another record from the Reflex catalogue. Right, Grant, question aimed at you. What I'm starting to see happen now is a lot of kids are getting into hard techno music, and a lot of them are starting to listen to it only because it's hard and getting into it purely because it's hard. And I know that Reflex Records are very much into the ambient thing now, so, you know, what are your views on this?
Well, like you said, we don't want to just be known for putting out the hard stuff. We put out the hard stuff because we don't think there are enough people in Britain. In fact, there definitely aren't enough people in Britain putting out hard techno. It's more of the electronic listening music side. We want to put out that as well. Basically, I don't really mind why people like our music. You tend to change your views as months go on about why you like tracks anyway. So as long as they like them and people think they're good, then I'm happy, really.
Who do you have on the current Reflex roster?
Well, we have AFX here by my side. We have a friend of ours from Cornwall called Martin, who did recently an 8-track Acid EP for us. That's done really well. We've got one of our friends who released the second record on our label. It's called Brad from Cornwall, and he did more of a more recognisable techno track for us, and we've just signed some people from Switzerland, which we're really excited about, because, you know, it's nice to reach countries like that. And obviously Cosmic Commando, he's the person we're really trying to push, because he's got a lot of talent and he's very prolific, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. We've got an album from him in about the next month.
So you're doing some albums?
Yeah, it's about 4 weeks away, double album of generally mellower stuff from him, and we have a new Caustic Window EP, which is pretty banging stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, how many are you likely to sell of, say, one release of Reflex Record?
It depends on the music completely, really. Varies a lot. On the last thing, which was Analog Bubble Bath, we did 10,000, and we thought we'd cut it off there because we wanted to put our money into the new stuff, because we're only limited resources.
And we decided we didn't want it to go in the charts as well.
Is there anyone you'd really like to work with, the two of you?
Well, we've got a lot of interest for some sort of I can't think sort of exactly. Speedy J wants to work with us, and we're doing some stuff with Richie Horton, Plus 8. I mean, these are things that sort of will definitely happen. There's been sort of various other things, but they're not sort of definite yet.
Right, we're going to take another listen to one of your anonymous tracks now. If you just tune tonight, in the studio we have Richard James and also Grant from Reflex Records. Have you any plans to do any more work with, let's say, live vocals, or to maybe take Reflex in a totally different direction?
I haven't got long-term plans at the moment. Basically, when we have a project that is coming together in our mind, we'll put it out then, and we'll come to things. I'm a bad one for planning loads in advance and never carrying my plans through, so I try and keep away from it and just deal with the near future. You know, it's a pretty wide-ranging field, so we should be putting out a very wide range of stuff. We don't want to be in a niche.
What are your future projects over the next few months?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we've got this housey project. I can't think of a word to describe it really. By Cosmic Commando. We've got for the Germans, we've got the hard Caustic Window, which is about the maddest track ever made, I would say. We have more
Detroit-y stuff as well.
Yeah, so. Detroit-y style, quite old style stuff, but not. When I say that, it's not exactly a straight sort of copy of the old stuff, but it's just reminiscent of it.
Been getting sent some sort of real abstract stuff as well that we just, I mean, it's not commercial at all, but we just really want to put it out. I mean, there's a lot of projects like that which will probably sort of only get sort of very limited pressings as well. So, I mean, it's a bit hard to plan sort of in advance really. You just have to take sort of each week as it comes.
Now, Richard, I know you've been involved in music for, years and years. How old were you when you started making your own music?
About 12.
About 12. And what made you want to start making your own music as a 12-year-old?
Just really, really wanted to get something together which was like my own, and it's as more of myself as I could get into music as possible, sort of not using sort of, preset sounds and instruments.
Are you a trained musician?
No.
You're not?
I did stuff when I was little, but it was nothing that I've really followed up.
Richard, is there anything you're going to be working on in the near future?
Yeah, there's a new release on Warp, which is off Surfing on the Sine Waves album. It's Quoth, and it'll be released on Monday 22nd and deleted on the same day. So in order to get a copy, you'll have to sort of buy it as soon as the date as possible, really, before the shops run out of stock.
And what label we've
Warp
that on?
Records.
Warp Records. Do you think techno music is, especially now, is in danger of becoming too commercial?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah, totally.
I don't really care either way, as long as it's good stuff and I'm happy. I don't really care what people do.
Great. Right, Richard James, aka Aphex Twin, and Grant from Reflex Records, thanks for your time tonight.
Farewell.
Cheers.
Right, see you again.
This Saturday, Garage City are proud to present live on stage Robin S. performing her smash hit Show Me Love. Also on the night will be DJ Disciple from New York City, alongside Bobby and Steve, Full Trouble Anderson and Chrissy T. Showtime starts at 10 till 6 in the morning, with admission just £6 before 11 and 10s thereafter. It's the only place to catch Robin S live performing her smash hit at Garage City. This Saturday night at number 1 9 Elms Lane in Vauxhall. Another safe night out brought to you by Kiss 100 and Holston Export, because he's what it's all about.
These women and their handbags. She's probably not even missed it yet. Now, what's she keeping here? Oh, perfect. Her plastic cards. And she's even left me her address.
If you let criminals steal your cards, they can steal a lot more than plastic.
And here's her keys. I must call round.
So watch your cards and know where they are at all times. They're as good as cash to criminals. Card Watch. It doesn't take much time to check card crime.
The official Kiss 100 Easter House Party is coming, and we're building a lineup just for you. Join Liquid and the Reese Project for this Easter special on Thursday, April the 8th at the Camden Palace. Tickets are only £7 in advance from the Virgin Megastore, Zoom in Camden High Street, and the Camden Palace box office on 071 387 0428. Book now and stay locked on Kiss as we add more PAs and the best DJs for the night. Another safe night out with Kiss 100 and Holston Export, because he's what it's all about.
Yeah. Graham Gold and the official Kiss FM dance chart.
And it's a non-mover at number 1, the brilliant Show Me Love from Robin S. Our Tribe was the highest new entry at number 2, while Jamiroquai dropped 1 place to number 3. For London's biggest selling dance records, join me, Graham Gull, this Saturday from 5 until 7. But of course, the action starts at 4, when we master mix the cream of the week's new garage and progressive house, both on import and UK pre-release. So to be set up for a weekend to swing your pants to, join me this Saturday 4 to 7 on KISS.
Attention, this is a direct transmission from Reflex Control. Fingers on the pause button.
A cut from Caustic Window called Joyrex. Joyrex, yes.
For you lot, this is Caustic Window. Sounds of a caustic window.
Hertz.
Abstract Dance with Colin Gale. Reflex Sensation.
This is the scene every Saturday morning outside Kiss House, 80 Holloway Road. The Kiss shop sale is on and everyone wants a piece of the action. There's Kiss boxers, sweatpants, t-shirts and a pile of accessories, all priced to clear. Many designs will never be seen again. If you can't make it down to the Kiss shop sale on Saturday, get a mail order form by dialing 071 700 4100. That's 071 700 4100.
Hallo, hallo, u luistert naar de radio. Dit is KISS FM en wij zijn hier samen allemaal gezellig met Colin Dale om de tafel heen gaan zitten en iedereen moet luisteren.
I'd say many thanks to Richard James, aka the Aphex Twin, and also Grant from Reflex Records for a very interesting interview. The last 3 tracks you heard there are forthcoming sometime very soon on Reflex Records UK. First we had Caustic Window and Joyrex J9, Swap P and Naya SP, and last but by no means least, Cosmic Commando from the Futurist EP, forthcoming on Reflex in mid-April.